All right, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. Check it. A lot of people have been telling us to stop talking about this issue, and I said that we would not stop talking about this issue because these are our people and we are our brothers and sisters keepers. If I was in the same position, I would want people speaking up on my behalf that have a platform to bring some attention to my plight. And that is exactly what we did, right? So the headline in today's Observer says, this is the latest news for all of you who are concerned about our brothers and sisters, the ship workers that were denied entry into Jamaica and then were sent to Portugal and were rejected in Portugal and then ended up in the UK where they were not allowed to get off the ship, even though the ship was allowed to dock. They were also confined to their rooms on the ship for the time they were there or are there. Jamaicans aboard the Morella Discovery 2, which is the name of that ship, they are to return next week. So they will have to go a whole other week. I think by this point they have been out to sea on a ship for over 2 months or heading into 2 months. Anyhow, Kingston, Jamaica. Jennifer Howson, the attorney representing several of the Jamaicans aboard the Morella Discovery 2, has confirmed that they are to arrive in the island next week. I can tell you that a lot of them they feel some type of way. They feel as if they have been done wrong, okay? And we're going to see where this ends up later on. But for now, they are scheduled to come home next week. Howson made the announcement in a recent Twitter post. The government of Jamaica has now decided to bring home the Morella Discovery 243 on May 6, 2020. I thank the Prime Minister at Andrew Holness, JM, and MFAFT, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, at Kamina J. Smith, for this first leg of the journey that they will have to pay US $20 per day quarantine needs to be dealt with, Howson said in the tweet. So, they will be coming home, or they are scheduled to be coming home next week, right? That's one half of the journey. She is saying that the other part of them having to come home, get quarantined, and then pay a fee of $20 US per day for each day that they are quarantined. So $20 US a day times 14. For those of you who do math pretty quickly, there you have what their fees will probably end up being, in addition to being under quarantine. The 43 Jamaican crew members were reportedly denied entry into the country on April 2nd. Despite being in Jamaica waters, they left the following day. Now you must remember, they were at sea for a month before they even got there. And then on April 2nd, they were denied entry into Jamaica. And today is May 2nd, so it is a complete 2 months since. Now, on April 6th, Observer Online reported that the Jamaican crew members were reportedly moved in tears after the request for permission for them to disembark went unanswered by the Jamaican government, which on March 24th closed the country's borders to incoming passengers in an attempt to limit the spread of that C-word thing that's going around. So, on April 4th, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced an extension of the travel restrictions by a further 14 days. That order has been further extended again to May 31st. However, nationals are now being allowed into the country under the government's controlled re-entry program. Let me say this before I read any further. There are people that are asking me if this nationals are being allowed to re-enter would include them who, for instance, you reside in the United States, you have a green card or a U.S. citizenship, but you have Jamaican connections, and you just want to fly into Jamaica now to go visit family members. I'm not the person to contact to give you 100% correct information, but from what I am gathering, controlled re-entry means, for me, it means they're probably going to be letting in a certain type of people first, like those who are stranded on vessels out to sea, those who are in foreign countries, staying in hotel rooms, and they can now come into their own country and that kind of stuff. I don't think it's going to be open for people like us who just want to go visit grandma to see how she's doing. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned for more update to that part of the information. The request was made by the ships. Let me say this again, by the way. First of all, you shouldn't even want to be rushing into Jamaica right now or into any travel, any kind of extended travel far away from home right now. Not unless it's a dire emergency situation. You understand? Because everybody is dealing with the issue right now, and you know what issue I'm talking about. Anyhow, the request was made by the ship's captain on behalf of Jamaicans, but with no response forthcoming from the government, the Jamaicans were told that the company had no other option but to move on. And I've said this before, the ship had a schedule to keep. The journey to Lisbon, Portugal, where the ship was reportedly denied access before docking in Southampton, England. And I told you again that these people are currently still aboard this ship. And from what I have heard, according to one of the mothers of her daughter that is on the ship, her daughter is a ship worker on the ship. And according to her, it is a situation where they are locked in their rooms. They are not allowed to leave their rooms. So it is not like they are around each other to even keep each other's morale up. Yeah, man, we group together, you know, everything are gonna be alright. Relax, man. Yeah, man, them soon answer. Week after week after week after week. It is you being locked in your room, not knowing what's happening to all the others because you can't see them, and confined to the room, meaning you're not allowed to leave that room. I can't imagine that situation. I actually feel like I'm a kind of person that I'm kind of claustrophobic anyways. I have to be let out. So I can't imagine someone who is claustrophobic being confined to one of these rooms, not allowed to leave, paranoid also because of all the stuff that's happening around the world, and here you are docked on a ship in a foreign country, not allowed to get off the ship, not allowed to leave, and they're telling you every day that we haven't heard from your government yet, so hang in there. We're working to try to get some information from them to see what we can do with you, but we haven't gotten anything. And you hear that day after day after day after day, and it goes almost a month worth of day after day after day. I can't imagine the mental strain. And for those of you who tuned in to the most recent video before this one concerning the topic, where you heard that man, one of the ship workers, say, I don't feel like I have to beg the Prime Minister to come home to my own country. I am a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen. I haven't broken any laws. I'm not a criminal. Understand? But to be treated like this, he said. And also the part that really touched me is where he said, people are losing it. They cannot hold it together much longer. So, for all of you who've been hoping and praying and wishing well and making phone calls and leaving uplifting comments for these people, this is a sigh of relief and a step in the right direction. We will stay close to this story though, to see what a guan, how it unfolds. Will there be lawsuits or any kind of settlement as things progress? But right now, I am sure all these people care about is getting home. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. That's an update, and it's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.